Alok from Omnistrate here. We are excited to show a super new feature on the Omnistrate platform. We are calling Debug Mode. We have a number of customers today that are iterating on their SaaS development on Omnistrate through extensive testing of their deployments and new features through various dev test, QA staging environments on Omnistrate. This already significantly accelerates their development lifecycle when it comes to building and rolling out new features for their SaaS platforms. To further support rapid iteration during these testing phases, we are introducing a new mode that will allow you to jump directly into the heart of a failing deployment and take over control. This will allow you to fix any issues rapidly without needing to go to the full circle of a CI/CD release and waiting for failed deployments to be patched. To demonstrate this, we will start with a SaaS service. As you can see here, it's called Debug Mode Demo, which uses Terraform, as you can see on the right, a simple Terraform script to deploy an S3 bucket. If you notice, we made an explicit typo here where this is supposed to be AWS S3 bucket, right? But we'll call this just AWS S3, and then try to use an invalid resource name, and then try to deploy an instance of the service and showcase how you can debug and essentially patch this immediately without actually having to release a new version of your SaaS. So let's dive straight in. So let me start by triggering a new deployment for this service. One of the features that we provide on Omnistrate is full visibility into your deployment process. So as you can see in the workflows page for this particular deployment, we are actually tracking the deployment of the S3 bucket itself. And in a minute, you will actually see the error that we were hoping, which is the invalid S3 resource name. Yep, as you can see, it clearly calls out that the AWS S3 resource that we specified is not something the official AWS provider supports, which makes sense because it's called AWS S3_bucket, right? So now let's see how we can actually dive deeper into debugging this particular deployment. So I'm going to close this view, dive directly into the resource instance, which is the deployment. Click on this particular icon right here, which shows you or gives you instructions on how to actually debug. Let's open this up. This will take you to our documentation. The first step is, of course, setting the context where you have your basically access to your EKS cluster or GKE cluster, where you're actually doing the deployments. So once you can follow that, and you can get more instructions on how to do that in the instance page. So just click on the instance, click on Kubernetes config, and then follow the instructions right here. So I already have that set up here for this particular deployment demo. And then we will directly jump directly into the agent that we use to manage your deployments in that cluster. So now we are in the agent console. So the first step we'll do is enable debug mode for this deployment. So it's enabled the debug mode. So this interrupts any ongoing operations. So this pauses our operations, our automation from performing any more operations on this deployment. So now you can actually freely poke around and see what's actually going on. So let's run a second command, which will allow you to check out that Terraform directory locally in this particular workspace. So let's set that up right here. Let's navigate to the directory. As you can see in the directory, you'll actually see the S3 file that we were using originally. So let's open that up. And let's just quickly fix the resource name right here. Now let's patch the deployment again. Awesome. Now we will resume the deployment so that the automation can pick up the change and then retry the provisioning. Awesome. So now let's just dive back into the workflows view on our portal. And let's wait for the workflow to complete. There we go. The workflow is complete, the S3 bucket has been deployed. So let's switch to the AWS account where this is hosted, and you will see the S3 bucket right here. So debug mode, the instance ID that we were using. And so that's how you use debug mode to deploy a quick patch as a one-off so that you can actually get out of any sort of issues very quickly. And so what we urge you to do after this is to merge the change. In this particular case, that was a change to the Terraform file back into the plan itself, release a new version of the plan, and then essentially upgrade the instance to use the new version, and then you can unlock and disable debug mode that's currently being placed on the instance itself.